Hi everyone, in today's class we're going to make our fabulous pot of Hares. We make them all the time down at the studio, so I thought it'd be really nice to share this one with you all. Got my tools ready. Got my clay, V9A stoneware, which we always use in the stoneware, in the studio rather, because it's great for hand building. So my tools, my water, my little turning board, and I'm all ready to get going to show you all how to make them. Alright everybody, so first of all we're going to prepare the clay for the body. We'll take a chunk of clay. Your chunk that you take will determine the size of your body. So just knock it around into shape. All I'm doing is making a ball. It's quite a firm clay to work with, this V9. Which is great for when we're trying to support the features like the ears and things. Okay, so from there what I'm going to do is just corn it up a little bit. And my hair's going to be set up. I'm just patting round. And there you go. Alright, now we want him hollow in the middle. I don't want all that solid lump of clay. So you've got a couple of choices really when you're making hers. You can do it a couple of different ways. You can either do two pinch pots and put them together and then just put a little hole in the base. But I always prefer, when I'm doing the character that's sitting up, is just to put my fingers straight up the bottom like that and then just pinch round like that. And just put that hole straight up the centre. And if you were doing a bigger piece, you could use a rolling pin or anything. Can you see what I'm doing there? That little light's quite catching it, but I'm just putting a centre all the way up the middle and just pinching round and trying to make sure that this edge is all nice and even all the way around. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little bit more on that. And what you can do is you can thin out the top a bit as you do it and stretch that clay down a bit. Okay, so I'm about there. Ooh, off camera. Okay, and then all I'm doing here is just smoothing any little peaks that might end up a bit rough once it's gone through the kiln. So you always just smooth off any rough pieces that you've got. Alright, so there's my little cone shape, like a little upside down ice cream cone. Okay, so I'm going to put him to one side for a minute, and what we're going to do first is the first front legs. So take a ball of clay. Always start off, you'll find with clay, everything starts off as either a circle or a sausage. And your sausages always start off with a circle. So I've done some of the rolling in my hand already. Then I'm going to transfer it to my board. And you're just going to spread your fingers out and roll that out. If you find that you're ending up rolling and your piece looks a bit square with flat corners, it's just because you're rolling a little bit too heavy. So all you need to do if you do that is just come back in, pat your sides round and carry on. Alright, now that one's probably, I can show you, fetch your mean, my front legs come down here like that, so that's probably going to be big enough for both of them. So I'm going to leave that there, so I'm not going to do anything there. Normally what I do is I do one and then do another. Okay, so I'm going to cut that in half. And what I'm going to do is make his feet. Alright, so we've got two balls of clay that we're going to make for his feet. Now you can either take one ball of clay and cut it in half, so you've more or less got two equal sizes, or you can just do two, roughly. Okay, so all I'm going to do is just pinch one corner and make it a bit like a teardrop shape, like that. Put it flat, and then I'm going to bend down his toe bit like that. You can see, so it's just flattened it down and a bit of a teardrop. Again, squash the back, make a bit of a teardrop, and then flatten those front toes round. Okay, And then all I do is I get my little knife and I just put 3 lines, and I go quite high and tall with them, like that, up and over that top bit. So 1 in the middle and 1 at either side. And then my slip, get some slippy water, and put that in. Oh, a little brush. Okay. So your slip is just this clay that you're using with a little bit of water. And you don't need to work the whole pot, just work a little bit creamy. Alright, so anything you're going to stick together as usual, we scratch and slip. So just crisscross where you're going to join there, and we're going to join it to the back of his foot. Like that. And then dab. Put it on. So push on, bit of a wiggle, and then you're going to turn it over and you're going to blend in all that clay around there, like that. And turn it over, and I always find a nice little tool like this is great for doing the small bits. Always a small one. These ones were cake decorating tools, but they do work really well for modelling. So all I'm doing, just blending that in, smoothing it in with my finger, like that. And again, just smoothing off any bits. And I'm going to do that with both of them. So I'm going with the second one, scratch it and slip it, dab some water, and then on it goes. Bit of a wiggle, and then blend it in like that. I'll just use my fingers around the back, and again I'm just going to use a tool at the front like that. And then I'm going to put them on the body. Now you can decide where you want to put them. You can either straight against, or we can have them coming out a bit, and I'm going to have mine coming out a bit like that. So straighten that out. Then from here, once I get to this bit, I usually this point fetch me wheeling, my little turntable, and then you're not having to keep moving your bunny. Okay. So we're going to go like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch off the top where we don't need. There. And then I'm going to crisscross there. Crisscross the back of his leg. Again, a little bit of slip. And then what I do with this top bit is I push it on and then blend the top like that. There you go. Do the same on the other side. I suppose really doing all your blending, you really don't need to do this scratching and slipping, but because there's only a little bit at the top holding it on, I just like it to be extra secure. So again, just push that on and push it straight up. Extra clay will either come off or go up over the top, like that. Okay, and you can, if you wish, come a little bit further down that leg and just blend it in a little bit further down like that. Okay, so there's his legs for now. We'll work on his toes after. Okay, so what we're going to do is another couple of legs. We're going to do his back legs and just move them out your way. Excuse me drinking my coffee. So we're going to start off with a circle, make it into a sausage, and then roll. And again, spread those fingers as you're rolling out. Okay. I'm going to do another one. And just pass it into the bowl. Start your rolling. And then we'll roll out. That's a bit better than the first one. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to put him up like that. And his leg's going to come over on himself like that, down the bottom. So I'm going to cut that little bit off. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So up and around, just look where you're putting it. And then I'm just going to cut that off there. Okay. And then we're going to make some paws for the back, just like we did with the front, but the back ones are a little bit bigger. Okay, so let's start off a bit more play. Okay, so that's roughly the size of my ball, and then I'm going to make it into a teardrop, and to do that all I've done is to roll it in my hands at the back like that. Flatten it down a bit, and then flatten those toes down like you did with the first bit. Okay, and then make another one. Some more clay. A bit more. Should have made both my circles together, but never mind. Doesn't matter. Okay, so again, just roll it in your hands, get that teardrop shape going. Flatten it out a bit, and then flatten those toes down. Wow. And same as you did on the front, you're going to put 3 deep cuts in, like that. Okay. And then just like you did on those front ones, we're going to attach them there. Okay, so scratch and slip. Bits of a wiggle as you put it on. Support your foot as you do it, and then you're just going to blend in that clay at the back. Like that. Support that leg whilst you do it. And then just blend that front bit on. Use your tool and use your finger just to smooth it in. And then what you're going to do is we're going to put him down like that. Okay, so I'm going to scratch the side where it's going to stick. And then I'm going to scratch the inside of that leg like that. That. Some slip on. And I'm patting it on so I don't lose those lines that I've just put in. And then just push on. Wow. Okay, do the same with the other one. You can crisscross that. And put it on. So blend it in. And then just blend that side on like that. Put your finger down. Like that, and again, You're going to scratch where you're going to put it. Slippery water. Oh, not scratch the other side of the legs. I'll just put some scratches on there. And then just stick it on. There then, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but on top of that leg's just cracking a little bit, and it's quite alright if it does that. All I'm going to do is use my dipped finger in my water. I'm just going to rub over it and rehydrate it. So I'm going to push that in. Okay. Now then. So I'm going to do a little bit of work on these paws, on these toes, from what I'm doing, and we'll do this one. So I'm going to go in those cuts that we made. I'm going to open up each of those toes just a little, just give it a bit of a wiggle. And then I'm using a really small brush in a bit of water, and I'm just brushing over the ends, those sides, so it's not sharp. And we're just going to keep wiping your brush off. A little bit of force, just push it down. And come up from the bottom as well. And can you see? It just rounds it all off. Just gives some definition to that toe. Don't worry if a bit of clay comes off, just take it off. Go back over it. And wiggle it out. And do you know what? There's no right and there's no wrong way to do it. So you can spend as much or as little time doing this as you want. Like I say, you don't even need to do it if you don't want to. I just like defining these toes a little. Okay, so we're going to do the other one as well. Push down on that cut line. Up from the bottom. Smooth it round. Same on that last one. And then I'm just going to put that brush over that top like that, just to give it some more definition. It's a bit softer. Just going to put that down there. And that one. Okay, so you don't need to give it toenails either, but if you do, I'm just going to use this tool, this old Kate tool that I had. I'm going to push down and come out. Push down and come out. Okay, so I'm going to do all of those four and then we'll come back to you. Right, so I've finished those toes. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a lump of clay for the head, and I can't tell you how much clay you're going to use for the head because everybody's body will be different depending on how much you use to start off with. So what I suggest is you take a chunk of clay, a bit more than that I think, pass it into a ball, and then you're going to just cone it down a bit, get a bit of a cone going on it. I'm just squeezing in my fingers to get shape, and then there's your head. Now then, I'm just debating whether I want to put a little bit more on. No, I might leave him like that actually. But if you find yours looks a bit silly, or you think, oh, there's way too much, or no, there's not enough, you just take some or add some as you need to. But I think I'm going to leave mine like that. Alright, so once you've got the roughly of your head, you can take that away. You can move your feet, your body, and I've just realised I've not put his tail on, so we'll do that in a minute. So what you need to do, once you've got your head shape, you're going to take 2 more lumps of clay, and I start off in a ball. Okay, I'm just putting them into a ball shape, and what we're going to do is we're going to make the ears, and then they can be firming up whilst we finish him off. So I'm going to pat round like that. And then I'm going to make a cone, but I'm going to do a long cone. So I'm just going to bit like that. And do the same with the other, so I'm corning off and then just stretching it out like that. Okay, the easiest way I found to do my ears is to put my thumb in, support it with your hand, put your thumb in, and then drag that clay down like that. All I'm doing, just thinning that top out there, pushing in and pushing around, and then dragging that clay down like that. Okay, and then just spend a little bit of time just smoothing over any rough bits. And out and round up. Like that. And then I just put a bit of a point on top. Right, so there's one. Curl them in a bit at the bottom, and then just pop him to one side. Stuck there either way. And then you're going to do the same with the other one. So again, supporting your hand, use your thumb, press in, and then drag down. Okay, push in and drag. Sometimes when you're doing this, it will break as you drag down. It's just practice. Sometimes it still does it with me now, and I just reattach it. And if need be, just add a little bit more clay in. So I'm just scooching around in there, dragging that bit down, thinning out those sides a bit. So just pushing my finger around, and then just tidying up any rough edges. Use your finger and a bit of water to do that. Try not to add too much water, otherwise you'll be waiting a while for it to dry out. Okay, so I'm just going to scooch them in. Again, just a bit of a point at the top. Give it a bit of a shape, and then just leave it to one side like that. Okay, now we're going back to the face. Oh, shall we do his tail before we forget? Okay, let's just move on to his tail. So all I'm going to do is take a little chunk of clay. Can you guess what it's going to be? Yeah, another ball. Alright, another cone shape, like that. And then, what we're going to do is it just sits on the back like that, and then I just bend it. Bend his tail back a bit like that and just give it a bit of shape. Okay, it's just cracking a little, so I'm going to add a bit of water to that and just get it to sit on. All I'm going to do is cut down at an angle there, take that bit off, scratch and slip in the back where you're going to put it. Also slip on. And then just push that on like that, and just bend it and twist it again. There's no right and there's no wrong way, however you want to do it. When I first started out, I'd have loads of pictures of rabbits and hares, and just looking at the different ways, different poses that they had. So all I'm doing is just rubbing in that join there just to give it some added security, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. So just press in, put some of that clay off the tail into the body, and then smooth out with your fingers. And I'm just going to push it in a bit at the bottom, round it off, and we'll give some texture to that tail when we're doing. Okay, so there you go, dead simple, but we'll do that now then we don't forget. Okay, so put him back to one side. Right, back to the face. So what we're going to do is we've already started some of that shape, so I'm going to use my hands like that, and I'm just going to squeeze down, squeeze to the side, and I'm just going to make it a bit squarish like that, and then just smooth my clay. Alright, so we're looking like that, bit of a purr on its side. Okay. Alright. And then what I tend to do is have it looking up at me like that while I'm working with it. I'm going to turn it around that way so you can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to take, excuse me, that's his timer. I wonder if he's making me some delicious tea while we're doing this. I'm just being optimistic. Okay, so take your knife, you're going to cut in a hole for his mouth, take it right around the side, like that. Okay, and then these two little balls we've made, we're going to squash them flat, and we're going to put them there, like that. So just squash it down, squash it in, and pull that mouth down a little bit. Just use your knife, pull it down, and then I'm going to take these off now as I know where they're going to go, and I'm going to scratch it and slip it. So scratching, scratch that side, get a slip, and I'll put that on, and I'll do the same on that side, and put that on. So just press and squeeze, and it can hang down a little bit over that cup, and you'll see why in a minute. Alright, from there we're going to blend the side into the mouth. Alright, so just push down on there. You can do a bit over the top as well. Okay, and you're going to do the same on the other side. So just pull back that clay like that. I think one of my balls was a bit bigger than the other, but not to worry. It'll give him character. No two bunnies will ever look the same. Alright, another chunk of clay. This is going to make the nose. So start off with your ball, do a bit of a pinch, and then a flat, and just make a bit of a triangle, like that. So I'm just pinching in my fingers, I'm just making a triangle, and then it's going to sit like that, over there, on there. Okay, so again, if yours is too big, just make it a little bit smaller. There's nothing wrong at all in just taking a chunk off it, or even just getting a fresh ball and just doing it again. So I'm going to scratch those two, a bit of slip on, bit of a jiggle when you attach it, and then just press down like that. Okay, and I'm just going to use my small brush, and I'm just going to wipe away that slip that's come out of that join. I'm just going to tidy that up. Just take that away with your brush like that. Okay. 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 So his mouth, I'm going to come in now, and I'm going to just open up that mouth a little bit. And like we did with the toes, I'm just going to run this little brush over that cut on his mouth. Like that. And then I'm just doing a squidging, and then I push it back up. And there's his little mouth. Alright, so his nose. I'm going to blend this top bit in now. Turn it onto his nose, like that. And I'm going to blend it up. And I'm just swashing that bit round. Swashing that bit round, and I'm just joining it on. Flattening it down a bit. Okay, so if you put it towards you now, what you're going to do is you're going to put your fingers here at the side of those nostrils, and you're going to push your fingers back to the back of the head and just make two divots. This is going to be where you're going to sit his eyes, and it'll also form that bridge for his nose. So I'm just putting that in, running my fingers down, and then slowly taking them over that bridge of the nose and smoothing it around and taking it across. Alright, and then you can put it back in your hand. Don't worry about all this extra clay at the back, because we can sort that out when we put it on. So just take all that clay back, just make those areas for his eyes, make that bridge of the nose, straight back and over. Okay, now then, before we move on to his eyes, I'm going to make his nostrils. So under here I'm going to shove in my cone tool like that, and I'll pull that round like that. I'm going to put that one in there as well. Okay, and then that bit I'm just blending in. Okay, and if you wanted to, with your needle stick tool, you can put a few rolls in that little bit there like that. That's through his whiskers. Okay, so eyes. So back in front of you, and what you're going to do, I always use the back of a paintbrush or back of one of my tools, and you're just going to press in a little bit for the eyes, and then I just rock from side to side like that. And we'll do the same on the other side. Just rock from side to side so you've got more of an oval shape going on. Okay, take a chunk of clay, a little tiny ball, into a cone shape, teardrop shape, and then push in. And I am going to do one bigger this time, so the size will depend on how big you want your eyes. So just scratch inside, scratch the bottom of your teardrop, a little bit of slip, and then pop it in, and then just a little push. And again, tiny brush, just knock that bit of slip off. Like that, just tidy it up. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then do the same on the other side. Trick is getting them both roughly the same size, and to do that you can, if you want, do a ball and then cut it in half and then do the same. But mine always seem to still go a bit lopsided when I do that, so I just eyeball it. So when you're happy, just jiggle that back out again, put some slip in it, scratch the bottom of your teardrop, bit of slip, and then back in it goes. Okay, and again just wipe round, get rid of that slip. And all I'm doing is mopping it up and wiping the wet off. Okay, so let's give him some eyelids. So for this you'll need a sausage. So a little bit of clay into a bowl and then rolled into a sausage. I usually just do it in my finger in my hand, but you can do it on your board. Spread it out. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to start here as if it's going down to the bridge of the nose, up and over, and then cut off like that. And then I'm going to put the other piece, and just point the sides like that, and I'm going to come there, but I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap, and then I'm going to come to the other side and I'm going to pinch off, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. And I've not scratched that, but I'm going to blend it in, so I'm going to show you that in a minute. Roughly the same size, yeah. So again, I'm taking it down to that bridge of that nose, and that one's cracked, so you can see that on film. If not, it doesn't matter, but I'm just going to go over a bit of water in a minute. And the same on this side, leave a little bit of a gap, come in, and then just scooch that off there. Alright, so if like mine, yours crack, just a little bit of water. I should be covering my clay up really while I'm working with it, but it doesn't normally take me too long to do these rabbits. So I've done lots and lots of them. Okay, so I'm just wrapping mine. So to blend this in, because I've not scratched it, what I'm going to do, I'll use my little cake tool again. Or to find out what name it is for this one, so I don't know. And all I'm going to do is halfway on that eyelid, I'm going to push down and join that clay into the eye, into his head like that. I'm just going to push down, and I'm going to go around with my pinky, and you're going to do the same on the underneath and the same on the other side. So you're not actually touching the bit that's near the eye, the eyeball itself. You're just going underneath and blending that in. Let go back in my little finger. It starts to dry, just a little bit of water. Then once you've got the underneath done, just go on the top corner there and just nicely round it off. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side. Okay, so just clean your tool off as you go. Scooch down about halfway, all the way around. Come in with your little finger, like that. And then just go on that little edge and just soften it up. Again from the bottom, halfway. Just going to come in with my finger, blend round, soften it up a little bit, and there you go. Okay, and there's his eyes. Okay, now then, so it's up to you where you're going to have him facing. Okay, and what I tend to do, just for drying out purposes, what I do, because he's hollow on the inside, what I'll do is I'll take my little bulbous tool, support around my body, and I'm going to just scooch it in until I hit that hole there. Alright, and then I do the same on the inside of my head, just a little bit. Let's see where we're going to sit him first. Do you want him looking down, do you want him to the side, or do you want him typically moon gazing her, looking up? Now then, my ears today, I'm not going to have down his back, typically moon gazing. I want mine sticking up today, so I'm going to have him looking outwards like that. So once you know where he's going to sit, then you know where you can put your hole, and I'm just, not a lot, I'm just going in, widening that up a little bit, and then I'm going to crisscross around the bottom, crisscross on the top there, where he's going to go. And you can do some nice deep scratches on this. And again, dab it on. You don't want to lose those lovely lines you've just put in. Put him on, bit of a wiggle, and then sit him into place where you're going to put him. Now then, you've got a couple of choices for securing the head. You can either tiny sausage all the way around and blend it in, or you can use your tool again. And what I tend to do is push a little bit of the head in and down and into the body, like that. And I find that this way just helps define his neck area a little bit. So I'm just cutting in and then pushing it down, pushing in, cutting down. And then I'm going to go around with my fingers in a minute. All these little scraps you can stick back in your slip bucket. And you slip that. Okay. And you might find you do this and think, no, you're still not happy with it, you're not sure on its stability, and you might want to go back in and put a sausage in, and that's fine too. Right, so I've gone round, I'm just going to use my wet finger now, and I'm just going to smooth off that join, make sure it's all nicely joined. There we go. So these ones that we tend to do in the potter, I do a lot of these classes in the potter. It's not supposed to be a realistic hare, as you can see. It's more of a character hare, and we can do any pose you want. I've even had them eating Easter eggs and reading books and things. So there's 101 different ways you can do with these little rabbits. You don't have to just be sat here static like this. I've just found a couple of cracks, so as I'm going around smoothing off. So I'm just tidying those up as I'm going. Alright, so ears will go on last because they're just hardening up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give him some texture. So I'm going to use my bulbous tool, and all I do for his texture, and if you're not so sure and you're not too sure on how to do it, get yourself a chunk of clay and just have a practice before you start. Okay, but all I'm going to do is I'm just going to come through like that and mark out on my clay, and you're just following the lines of where the hairline will go. I tend to, on my character Hares, personal preference, I leave the face, I leave his paws, and I leave his knees free of texture. But again, that's just personal choice and it's entirely up to you. So I'm going to start off in between his legs, and I'm just going to pull up like that. Don't be frightened of digging in, okay? So just up you come like that. Do some short, do some longer, and up and over, okay? So from his neck, coming down, we want him coming down on there, like that. You know what, and these rabbits really come to life once they've got the glazing. And there's loads of different glazing options you can do with them. Sometimes we'll paint them with the underglazes, and then other times we'll use oxides on them, and I've even done a little bit of both. The last one I did, it's drying out in the studio, and I'll put a little photo, I'll attach it to the video for you. I've left him all oxide, and then the inside of the ears are painted lime green. So that's a new little try I'm doing on it. So can you say I've just stopped there at the knee, and I'm going to restart on that side of the knee, and it really just defines that knee once they come out of the kiln when you've got that colour on them. So I'm just going to follow it round, have that on. Again, do you know what, there's no right and there's no wrong. You might find you want to do smaller texture and just use your knife, or you might decide you want it a nice smooth rabbit and don't have any texture in it at all, and you just want to spend your time. So the tail, let me show you how I texture my tail. The back side of the tail I always leave plain on mine, and again it's personal choice, and what I'm going to do is texture the inside so it makes that fluffy tail. So all I'm going to do is support the outside with my thumb, use my tool, and I'm going to press in and then flick up. Press in and just flick up like that. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. And if you can see there, it just gives some texture to the inside of there. You don't really see it so much when it's in this wet state, but then once it's dry and it's colour on, you really do notice that. Okay, so I'm just continuing with that texture all the way around. Do back end of those knees. Don't worry if you end up with a few little burrs, you can go back in with your paintbrush and just take them off. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm just going to add a few more there. And do the back of his head before the ears go on. I'm just coming up. I come forward a little bit onto his face. Again, it's personal preference. If you want to come all the way up, feel free. There's no right and no wrong. Just one around the back there. And there it goes. Alright, now then, let's have a look at how he is. I think I'm going to let me set up for probably about another half an hour, maybe even an hour. What I'm going to do is leave it for half an hour, come back, see how sturdy they are, and then we can go. But I'm only leaving them because I want to do mine sitting up. What I quite often do with these is put them down the back there. And if that's what you're doing with yours, you can put them on straight away and go ahead. And all you do is scratch the back, slip and scratch that and the bottom where he joins, and then slip him on. Alright, and you can put both of them hanging. But because I want mine sticking up, you can either come out and go off to the sides. You can play about. I suppose now is the time you can play about and just see where you might want them. So I might have mine up and off to the side like that. So I'm going to leave them down there. And I'm going to come back in about half an hour. Alright, so we're going to put him on, see where you want him to go. I don't have that one coming straight up, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this down onto his head. Don't worry about your texture because you can go back in. I'm just going to flatten that down. Support your ear using your hands behind you, and then just use your tools as we did before. And what you can do, in fact, and what I'm going to do, sometimes you'll know if you can just put your tool in and blend up, or whether you want a little bit more support. So I'm just going to put a little ball into a little sausagey bit, and I'm just going to put that down there, and then I'm going to use that to go on the back of that ear like that, and then onto his head, just for that extra bit of support there. So you're going to go all the way around your ear and blend it in like that. As you can see, it's still really wobbly. Alright, so I'm going to put that one on. And what you need to do is just play around with your shape and how you might want it. Do you want it so it's like a bit listening, a bit open, and then coming in down the bottom. Okay. Now then. So whilst you work the other one, let me turn it around a bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a chunk of clay and then put my rolling pin to try and support. Oh, you can't see that very well, but I'm just going to do that over there a little bit, and then that's not going to work. Alright, what else can we have that's going to support you? So a little stick maybe with some clay on the top and the bottom. So this is fiddly. This is why in our beginners classes we always do your ears going downwards. So I'm just putting a chunk of clay on the bottom to help it to stick. Chunk of clay on the top, and you don't have stick mark. I'm just going to hold it up like that, just while I get the other one on. Okay, so again, find out where you want it. And I want this one to come down a little bit. So, as I did before, I'm just going to push my finger, blend that clay on. Do the same at the back like you did before. Can't move it too far because I've got that stick just supporting that other ear at the minute. I'm just going to come in like that. Smooth round. Where you might want it. Alright, so quite happy with that one there. So again, I'm going to use another stick here. Another ball of clay just on the top, and let's support it. And you might need to put another one at the back. So now I'm going to come back to this. Now as I've got the other one where I want it, I can come back in and I can smooth that off. And I can prop it up exactly where I want it to be. And I want that just to be propped at the back. I need something longer. Right, let's have a look. Let's see. So you can use all sorts of tools that you've got lying around. Just for support like that. Now that he has cracked, so I need to come around. Let me see if I can just slide my board around to show you. Move all those out the way. Okay, so it is fiddly putting him up like this. Okay, there you go. Alright, so we're going to blend in nice and carefully. Blend that in. Like that. And this little bit that's cracked off, what I'm going to do is put some water there. And I'm going to add a piece of clay in. Like that. Just going to re-support that in. Like that. So I'm just smoothing round like that. Let's see, move my tools. I'm slurping my coffee. Let's see what that can like at the back. Alright, so we're going to blend this. So I'm supporting the head, I'm just holding my fingers. I'm just going to pull that bit down there. And again, you can use your fingers or you can use your tools. And I'm just blending down. Like that. And clay in. And then while I'm here, I'm going to put that texture back in the back of his head. So I tend to go up a little way on the back of the ears, don't go all the way in his ears. Like that. Just putting that texture back in. Okay, a little bit of cracking there at the back of his ear, so I'm just going to flatten that off. Turn him back round. Okay, so we're going to add this texture in. Okay, that texture on coming round. There. It comes a little bit around the front. Like that. And then what I tend to do on his ears is I hold the outside, and a bit like I did with his tail, I'm just going to flute out. So I'm going to press the clay into my fingers and just drag outwards. And you'll get a bit of a thing like that. Smoothing off that join there. Add a little bit of texture in. Put some texture on top of his head. Come down a little bit, and I'm going to continue that up at the top, so I'm just holding behind and just pulling the clay out a little bit like that. Happy with that one. Just a little bit more blending down this bottom bit, I think, so you do need to work at it. Just go in and put that texture back. So again, let's turn it round back on the other side. So I'm just going to go under this join here. Just make sure all that's nice and flat and supported. Under there. And then add that texture back in. So just come back in with that bulbous tool. There we go. taking it up a little bit up the back of the ear, not so much because I like those ears to be, I like to show those ears off. Again, just taking this texture a little bit around the front of the face there, coming around. It's just drops a little bit of that ear. Oops, we're going to lose him. So that happens sometimes. All you need to do is just put another little bit of a supporting. So I'm going to keep that there, and I'm going to put another one behind. Okay, so another chunk of clay. It's just going to come up there and sit behind that ear. And you can just see there where he's come off a little bit, so I'm going to add another little bit of clay in. And join that in. Lightly press it down. And just add in a bit of clay just to give it a little bit more support. I'm just going to press it down to the top of the head. Touch it round. Blend it in. And then just go back in with your tool. There we go. And what I am going to do in a minute is I'm going to put another stick on that ear. So just before I finish, I'm just going to come in, and again I'm going to use my finger and use my tool, and I'm just going to drag like that. And it just, you don't have to do this. I like to do it. I think it just gives those ears a little something else. Like that. And I might just put a couple at the bottom. Like that. Okay, so toot around, check that we're all supported. I am just going to put another one on this outside of the ears, and I'll probably leave these supports here overnight. I found if you've got clay that's on your support, it works better. Once I did it, I used to use something that like a paint bottle or something like that, and sometimes what you'd find if your clay was a little bit wet, that it would stick to your bottle and then pull the ear off. Whereas clay just tends to dry separate, and it'll just come away as it dries. So there we go. Alright, so hopefully they'll stay on. Sometimes you do have little accidents, but more times than not now they do stay on for me. So, and then I just keep checking on it. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that class. So what we will do is might do another little video so the different types of finishes you can do for it. On some of the rabbits that I have done in the studio, that I was going to do on this one actually and I forgot, is you can make little flowers and things and put round. And I've even had some that's had little butterflies and things on the nose. But we can show you those. We can show you those another time. Alright, see you later. Bye everyone.